Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie.
Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the County of Chautauqua Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown and Dunkirk, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County. For more information on how the CCIDA can assist your business, visit choosechq.com.
From supporting people with disabilities to enjoy great lives, to providing health care services that are available to anyone, the Resource Center has been improving our county for more than 60 years. Learn more about how the Resource Center makes a positive difference in people's lives.
The Hofbrauhaus in downtown Buffalo invites all our friends from Chautauqua County to experience craft beer, Bavarian food, and live entertainment. Check us out on our Facebook page and website for family-friendly events throughout the year.
From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Good morning. Who the heck's that guy? You don't have glasses on. Hey, welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Randy Burt, sitting in for Doc Hamels, which is one of his adventures. I think he's where it's cold, maybe. I heard there's also beautiful women over there. I'm the one. So, we're going to be, let's start with, this is a live call-in show. So you can call us, you can send an email, and there's our number right there, 753-5225, and call us during the show. And if you have a question today for our guest, we'd appreciate it. We're also on social media, Facebook Live, and we'll be on YouTube later today forever until YouTube goes bye-bye. In Jamestown on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock, WRFA radio. So if you're in Jamestown, you can drive your car and listen to the show. If you have anything you want to send, like a message to us, you could go to Access Chautauqua's website. I think it'll pop up on the screen here, and send a message of something going on that you'd like us to talk about. And our new, how would you say it, Jamestown, they have collaborative children's solutions. We'll be playing our shows now on their channel. So we're getting all over the place, so come and join us. So before I do announcements, if you're wondering why I was laughing at my face, I had cataract surgery. And this is the first time since probably 5th grade that I haven't had to wear glasses. I'm getting used to it a little, but I was worried the brightness today would be bad, so I thought I was going to have to wear sunglasses, but the studio's not as bright as I expected, so we're going to try this. The problem with this is I can see distance, but reading is going to be even worse than before. So I'm going to start with some things going on here. If I don't pull my microphone off. You can get a hold of Infinity Corner in Jamestown at 716-664-0991 or www.infinityperformingarts.org. If you don't know Infinity, they're great when you're a younger kid. You go in there and I think they have singing, they teach music. It's down in Jamestown, so we've had them on the show quite a few times. Okay, Chautauqua County seeks to empower young people through youth development program funding. The Chautauqua County Youth Bureau is pleased to announce the availability of funding to support programs that promote positive youth development for young people under the age of 21. The funding is designed to strengthen programs that help youth build their skills, relationships, and experiences needed to thrive in school, work, or in their communities. Positive youth development programs play a crucial role in fostering leadership, civic engagement, educational achievement, workforce readiness, healthy decision-making, and social emotional well-being. Through the funding, Chautauqua County seeks to expand access to high-quality services, supports, and opportunities that empower youth to react to their full potential and become active, engaged members of the community. The following are some examples of the programs that can be funded: citizenship and civic engagement, community, economic security, physical and emotional health education, safe harboring, anti-trafficking activities, prevention and support, and family support. The grant program will run during the program term of October 1st, 2026 through September 30th, 2027. Organizations interested in applying should review the funding guidelines and application material available through Chautauqua County Youth Bureau at chautauquacountynewyork.com. I'm sorry, let's start that again. Chautauqua County, NY.gov/youth grant funds. The applications period begins June 9th and closes July 9th of this year. Funding decisions and awards will be based upon New York State Office of Children and Family Guidance. Chautauqua County also announces an opportunity for youth sports programs. The Chautauqua County Mental Health and Social Services is pleased to announce the availability of funding to support youth sports programming for under-resourced children and youth ages 6 to 17. Eligible applicants must be from interested non-profit community-based organizations, cities, towns, and villages within Chautauqua County with a federal ID number and charity registration number. The grant will run during the program year October 1st, 2026 to September 30th, 2027. Organizations are encouraged to apply for funding that will help increase access to quality athletic and recreational programs, reduce barriers to participation, and promote positive youth development throughout Chautauqua County. The grant may be used to fund programming that provides opportunities for youth in under-resourced communities. Program costs can include the following: coaches, instructors, direct service staff, mentors, including training professionals, development, referee fees, scholarships, purchase of equipment or uniforms, infrastructure, I can't pronounce it, improvements. Instruction or coaching necessary to support youth's ability to participate in team sports. Facility, field, space. The application period for the youth sports grant began June 9th, closes July 9th of this year at 3:30 p.m. The request for a proposed RFP, which outlines all criteria, is available online at chautauquany.gov/youth grant funds. And it may also be requested by emailing Kimberlin at chqgov.com. Funding and the decisions and awards will be based upon New York State Office of Children and Family guidelines. Now down the hill in Westfield, just that way a ways, there's going to be a 1978 Pulitzer Prize winning dramatic comedy by Donald Coburn uses a game of gin as a metaphor for life. The witty two-character play follows Weller Martin and Francia Dorsey, residents of a shabby nursing home, as they reflect on their long lives like gin rummy. Life is shaped by the luck of the draw. The way people respond to adversity and how they play the hand are given. Performances are going to be at Lakeshore Center for the Arts, July 17th, 18th, 19th, 24th, 25th, and 26th. Tickets are only $20, and sales are now online at lakeshorecenterforthearts.com. If you haven't been to Lakeshore Center for the Arts, it's a small, nice theater, and you're going to love it. Veterans Wellness Day Parade. Let's start that over. Veterans Wellness Day Picnic. That's better. Yeah, okay, guys. Mark your calendars for the upcoming Veterans Wellness Day Picnic, Wednesday, August 12th, 2026, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Lakeside Park in Mayville. The free event is for veterans and their immediate family members, and is designed to bring veterans, military families, and our community together for an evening of connection, support, recreation, and fun. Community members are also welcome to attend for a $10 donation. Guests can enjoy a picnic-style food and beverage, live music by Bill Ward, yard games, and family-friendly activities. You know the old family reunion type of games. Oh, we know them. Prizes and friendly competition, veterans and community resources tables. Opportunities to connect with fellow veterans, families, and supporters. If you want to help out, we are also seeking volunteers to assist with setup, activities, food service, and cleanup. Donations of gift cards, baskets, and other small prizes for games and activities. Please register by July 31st at noon so we can plan appropriate for food and activities. The next Mission Military and Veterans Career Fair, Tuesday, July 14th, 2026, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the JCC Student Union. This event is open to veterans, military-connected individuals and families, transitioning service members, students, alumni, and community members seeking employment opportunities. Attendees will have the opportunity to connect with military-friendly employers and organizations that are hiring, explore career opportunities and available resources, network with employers and community partners, receive support from on-site resource designed to assist job seekers. If you plan to attend, please bring several copies of your resume, DD-214, or military ID if applicable. Whether you're actively searching for a new position, considering a career change, or simply exploring what opportunities are available in our area, the event is a great chance to make valuable connections. We have two more here. Now we're going down to Westfield again to the Grape Discovery Center. And their address, 8305 West Main Road, Route 20, Westfield, New York. Come and join for a fun night creating your own sunflower wine glass. That's something different. Wine and soft drinks will be available for purchase. Bring your own snacks to share. Doors open at 5:30. Call Grape Discovery to purchase 716-326-2003. 716-326-2003. And I have slide 16, basket weaving with Cherokee Nation's Robert Lewis. Friday, July 17th, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Great Discovery Center, 8305 West Main Road, Westfield. Join us for a fun-filled night creating your own woven basket. Wine and soft drinks will be available for purchase. Bring your own snacks to share with everybody. Doors open at 5:30. Class is limited to 20 people, so call today and reserve your spot. Call Grape Discovery Center. Purchase your ticket, 716-326-2003. And we're going to go to a PSA right now, and then we'll be back with my guest.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Adopt a pet. Okay. Yeah, it's great to adopt a pet. There's so many of them out there that need a home. Okay, so my guest is well known here in a different life or different position.
Different role, yeah.
Let's go different position. It's been on the show many times now. And we're going to talk to the county clerk of Chautauqua County, Greg Carlson.
Well, Randy, thank you for having me on the show. It's a pleasure to be here again. This is my first time being here as the county clerk. I think I was on the show 15 to 20 times as the Director of Veteran Services, but it's always good to be with you guys, and you're such great hosts and always give great information to the residents of Chautauqua County and the people who watch from all over the place. So
you're totally different now, but you're still helping people. So
we're trying for sure.
So you're local, or you're local to the area?
Yes, I am from, well, I grew up in Celeron, New York, graduated from Southwestern High School, had a little 20-year tour in the Air Force, came back to this area and was the Director of Veteran Services for about 10 years, and then just started as the county clerk January 1st.
So, I've heard of the county clerk. I know they're in Mayville, but what is the role of the county clerk? All I can think of a clerk is somebody at the store.
So
it's
probably the most common question I get, because I remember when I first got the idea, hey, you know, I might run for office. I might run for county clerk. And I told my teenagers, and I said, hey, I think I'm going to run for office. Oh, what are you going to run for? And I'm like, county clerk. They're like, what's the county clerk do? So in New York State, because it varies, it depends on what state you're in. But in New York State, the county clerk is a constitutionally elected officer of the state, and they're charged with being the official registrar for all land records in the county. So everything, every piece of land that's purchased, sold, mortgaged, whatever you can think of as it pertains to land, all of that information is recorded at the Chautauqua County Clerk's office. So if you want a copy of your deed, or you want a mortgage discharge, or anything of that nature, the county clerk does that. In addition to that, we also are the clerk for the county court and the Supreme Court in Chautauqua County. So all of your court records also go to the county clerk's office. So if you were to want to get, let's say that, I don't want to go next. Well, we'll have to. A divorce decree. You would get your divorce decree. We would have that filed in the county clerk's office. We also do passports. So we can issue passports in the county clerk's office. We're the keeper of all of the county records. So all of the different departments, when they're done with their records, we store them for a prescribed period of time. Some records we keep forever. Some records we keep for 2 years, 5 years, but we're the official record keeper for the county. We have the sub-basement in the county building that's just filled with records all the way back to 1811 when Chautauqua County became. Actually, we have the Holland Land Company owned most of the land in western New York. We actually have stuff from the Holland Land Company from before Chautauqua County was even started in 1811. In addition to the clerk's office, I oversee our 3 Department of Motor Vehicle locations. So we have a DMV in Dunkirk, a DMV in Mayville, and a DMV in Jamestown. And in New York State, some of the county clerks, not all, some of the county clerks are an agent for the commissioner of the New York State Commissioner of the Department of Motor Vehicles. So Chautauqua County, we happen to be one of those counties. Some of the bigger counties like Albany County and in New York City, the 5 bureaus, their DMVs are actually run by the state. So though we get all of our rules and regulations from the state, the DMVs here are county employees and county facilities executing a state program, but still county employees. And then the little known thing that we do in the county clerk's office, which is very, very interesting, is the Department of Weights and Measures. So I oversee the Department and Weight and Measures. When you go to a gas station or when you go to a grocery store, they make sure that a pound is actually a pound, a gallon is actually a gallon. They also enforce unit pricing law. So you're required to have an individual price on everything. However, you can get a waiver. But they'll come out and make sure that, like, hey, if you have $1.99 listed there, that everything on there is $1.99. So they enforce
That's good,
pricing
'cause
law.
There's a lot of.
So we have the DMVs, the clerk's office, and the Department of Weights and Measures. So we do a lot. We do a lot.
One other thing you told me before you had the job was you keep track of the veterans, like DD.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So one of the things that we always encourage veterans to do is come and file your DD 214 with the county. That way it's for one, it helps us, right? Because we can keep track of that sort of thing. Number 2, if for any reason a veteran loses their DD 214, there's a house fire or they move, it's so much easier to get it from us than it is the National Personnel Record Center. So you would think in today's digital age, a DD 214 would be very easy to get your hands on. It's not so easy to get your hands on. But if you put one on file with the county, we are more than happy to produce that to any veteran.
Because I had checked in there because I was trying to find my dad's. Well, turns out I had.
Is on the phone.
Okay, we're going to take a break here. Jeff, what's up?
Oh, not much.
You started
Out
yet, or
in,
you,
huh?
have you started your bike ride yet?
Yeah, I'm actually about 22 or 23 miles in. I got maybe another 10 or 12 to go.
Wow, you are fast.
Yeah, we started at 7 o'clock this morning.
How's the weather out in Buffalo?
I'm sorry, I got a jet going overhead. I can't hear you right at the moment.
Well, Jeff's out in Buffalo with his brother Galen doing a ride for Roswell this year, and
Yeah, I'm doing a 34 mile bike ride, and I got about 10 or 12 miles left on that to go. So another hour's worth of riding, but
watch out for the mosquitoes.
I wondered why I didn't see you this morning when I came in. Out riding your bike for a good cause.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, yeah. We've raised, the Ride for Roswell this year so far has raised about $6.2 million.
And it hasn't just started. It's a great ride.
Yeah.
I did 10 of them, and yeah, I got to tell you one thing.
Yep.
Jeff was on a ride with me, and he stopped on the side of the road. And I get up there, and he's coming running out of the grass. Oh, mosquitoes! He got into a swarm of mosquitoes.
I already passed that spot.
Oh, that's good. No turtles
Yep.
on that road this year?
No, nothing. No ambulances, no turtles, no
Wow.
nothing. So anyhow, well, guys, I thought I'd just check in for a minute, and I gotta get back on the road here. Otherwise, I'm not ever gonna get finished.
Okay,
Well, thanks.
Jeff,
Ride safe.
you have fun now, and say hi to Galen. He's probably in
He's
Lake
on a
Albany.
different ride. He's doing the 60-mile ride.
Oh, he ends up.
He should have another hour and a half or so left on that ride, depending on what their pace is.
That's nothing for Galen. He
Anyhow.
does that about every day.
Yep.
Galen,
Anyhow. All right.
Okay,
All right,
Jeff.
guys. We'll talk to you later.
Yep, ride safe. So Galen, a few years ago when I was doing a ride, he was doing 100-mile with another kid from Mayville, and the announcer, there's an announcer when you come over the finish line that says everybody's name and this. Well, it was getting towards late, and the announcer was letting anybody talk. So I go, and there comes Galen, and I think it was Dylan. And they made a little side trip to Albany. They got lost and ended up in Albany, but they do 100. He did 100 miles a few times, and I got him into it. He got Jeff into it. We got Doc Hamels into it. And it's quite a ride. I mean, with 8,000 people.
Yeah.
Okay, Greg. So we're going to get back here. Trying to think where we were.
We were just talking about the overall responsibilities of the county clerk's
yeah.
office, and talked about the clerk's office, the Department of Motor Vehicles, and our Department of Weights and Measures, and a little bit about what each one of those departments within the county clerk's office does.
So you came into sort of a little problem there with fake license plates.
Well, it's an ongoing problem, and it's statewide ever since they have gone from the toll booths that we all used to be so familiar with to the electronic plate readers, right? It's very easy for someone to get a toll that they did not actually incur. So there's quite a bit to the story, but when I was running for county clerk, one of the things that was frequently in the newspaper, frequently on the news, was people surrendering their license plates to one of our DMV locations. Jamestown was probably the one that had the most articles, but it makes sense because they have our most foot traffic, so that would make sense. And that these license plates were then getting tolled later. And, unfortunately, the perception by some was that somebody at one of our DMV locations was doing something nefarious. One of my top priorities when I got in to be the county clerk was to figure the situation out. So I took a close look at it. I went to each of the DMV locations. We evaluated all of our processes, and we did change some things up. So one of the things that we discovered was, even though our license plates were being surrendered and being disposed of, the state had updated their policy of how that was to be done, and we were not in compliance. Now, when I say we were not in compliance, I don't believe for a moment that our license plates were not being destroyed and ending up in the hands of other people, but we did update our process so that when you come to one of our DMV locations and you surrender a license plate, that license plate gets destroyed that day by the person who you surrendered the plate to. That way we can have 100% accountability of what happens to the plates. But throughout the investigation, what they discovered was that it was random. And when I say random, it was plates that were surrendered to all three of our DMV locations. It was plates that were surrendered to different cashiers. You couldn't pinpoint it to any single person. And when you started to look at the particulars, you realize, hey, this is happening statewide. The other thing that you realize is it wasn't just plates that were being surrendered. There's people who have plates on their vehicle that will be in Chautauqua County and get a parking ticket or a fraudulent toll or something of that nature in New York City.
I did that.
Yeah, in New York City. So one of the things that I've done is I put out guidance, first of all, that they can give to a constituent who's having that issue, and it helps them battle the dispute the toll. The second thing is I've offered my personal assistance, and at this point it's been dozens. So I've built up a list of contacts, whether that's through the Metropolitan Transit Authority in New York City, the New York State Thruway Authority, or the City of New York, because this is where the common things happen, where I can reach out directly to someone and say, hey, I have this constituent, this is very clearly not their license plate, or I can go into the New York State Department of Motor Vehicles software system, print out a report that shows, hey, this plate was surrendered in 2021, 2022. In some cases, 1999, this plate was surrendered and is very clearly not on their vehicle. And even though we can't stop the fraudulent tolls from occurring, we're doing a lot better at disputing them so that it doesn't become a months-long or years-long inconvenience to the people who get hit with these
Well, the
fraudulent
media was
tolls.
making it look like.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, I kind
terrible.
of I understand it to a degree, you know, because it does seem that way, but there's so many different causes of the fraudulent tolls. So some people just get a singular toll, and usually that's a consequence of either bad weather or a plate that's slightly obscured, meaning an M looks like an N.
That was
Or,
me.
yeah, where and that's pretty easy to handle because it's only one toll. When there's something nefarious at play is when someone will get thousands of dollars in tolls, because what happens is people take a plate and they put it on their vehicle and they drive all around New York City, where the congestion pricing zones, you can as high as $21 for a single toll, and it'll keep hitting over and over and over and over. Those ones are a lot more difficult to dispute, and it's a lot more stressful for the person who's the victim, because here they are in Chautauqua County, they're getting their credit score affected, all of these different things, because these things get turned over to collections. But usually when it's a one-off, nobody's done anything bad, it's just a misread. When it's over and over and over again, that's when someone has taken it, that you can go on Amazon and for $10 you can order a plate that looks real enough. And it even says on Amazon, this is just for display only, but you can have it be whatever letter number combination you want, put it on your plate, drive around, and if you're one of the unlucky souls who that plate happens to match, you might get hit with those tolls. It's gotten better. And the state now, there's a lot of attention at the state level on this because it's affecting so many people. But what I would recommend to any person out there who's a victim of a fraudulent toll, some will just pay it to make it go away. Don't do that. Dispute the toll and utilize the county clerk's office and our Department of Motor Vehicles to get the documentation you need to dispute the toll.
See, when I had it happen to me, it was my old junky van was supposed to go over some bridge in New York City in the middle of the night. It's like,
Yeah.
I was lucky to go across the street and switch sides, and they get nasty too. And it's like, well, I could see the picture was really bad, but I think it was an A and an R looked the same, and I could tell it. And I went right down to the motor vehicles, and the lady looked at it. And, yep, and she goes, if it was an R, that's a New York City license plate number. So they have that in their license, and so she just had me send that to them, and I.
You know, in
So
some
far I've
in
heard
some
of
of the cases, you can see the license plate number. Like, let's say the person in Chautauqua County, they'll have a minivan or an SUV, and the plate will be the gold and navy blue color New York plates. And then you see the toll they're getting in the picture, and it'll be like a Tesla, and the Tesla will have the white New York plates, but have the same number on it. And you know, those pretty easy to dispute. One of the things is they have so many of these, they don't always do the best job of responding to the dispute. So sometimes you do have to go back 2 or 3 times. Fortunately, I've gotten pretty good at figuring out how to dispute them because I do it quite frequently. So
There's one other thing, just off subject. the old license plates, the letters are falling off of. I found one last night. You couldn't read one single letter on it. Weren't they supposed to turn them in?
Yes, they're supposed to, but you can't always make that happen. And the other thing I've seen, and I actually took a picture of it because I was coming back from Erie, and I got just across the border into New York, and I'm driving on 86, and I see a vehicle in front of me, and it's got the white New York license plate, but what they had done is taken basically a paste or a glue, some sort of color, and they'd covered 2 or 3 of the digits on their license plate. So that's another way, even though that might not result in a fraudulent tow for someone else, that is a way to not get charged when you go through the toll. So they'll take a picture of the license plate, but obviously 2 or 3 of the characters are covered.
One of the biggest things I've seen where I used to live was the temporary Pennsylvania plate. You can see they're drawn with a crayon, and they don't. Well, you know what's using them too, but it's like
so as good as technology is a wonderful thing, and technology can enhance all of our lives and make things better. Unfortunately, sometimes, especially when technology is relatively new, there's a downside, and with the electronic plate readers, although it's great to not have to stop or go through a toll booth, you might be one of the unfortunate souls that is a victim of the plate fraud. But it is one thing that at least at this point in time, we pay very, very close attention to it. We have the resources available to help constituents dispute. I've developed contacts with the different agencies where it's not instantaneous, but I've had pretty good success in disputing tolls. And instead of people having years worth of troubles, they have a couple weeks worth of troubles. They dispute it and they can move on.
So what happens to a person now that you get this big fine, it's going to your credit and stuff? How do you clear that out?
Well, that's what's very difficult for you. Try to not let it get to that point, right? For the people who it does get to that point, it's a step-by-step process. So the first thing you have to do is get the toll itself properly disputed and get the agency that has told that person to forgive the fines and fees. Then from there, you have to take that documentation and you have to go to each of the agencies that you've been affected by to try to get that
So if
reversed.
you use a lawyer, you're paying for it, right?
Yeah, if you use a lawyer, you're paying for it. I would say it's the biggest problem with this, more than anything else, is the huge inconvenience and burden it puts on people's lives. It's a paperwork issue, right? So these things can be corrected, but ordinary citizens, they have jobs, they have kids, they have families, they have activities that they want to be doing. And they'll get wrapped up for hours and hours and hours disputing these fraudulent tolls. So it really is a huge problem. There was, at the state level, there was legislation to increase the penalty for people caught committing plate fraud. So that would be a step in the right direction there. And that had bipartisan support. Doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat, your constituents whether you're an assemblyman or a New York State senator, your constituents are getting hit with these fraudulent tolls. It's a huge quality of life issue. It's creating huge problems for them. So I do believe that this will get bipartisan support and really would be a good thing to see those people who, sometimes, like I said, it's an accident, but the ones who are actually out there altering their plates or committing crimes to be held accountable for those crimes. And hopefully that combined with other things will make this so that 10 years from now, it's no longer a problem. It's a thing of the past.
At first, when I heard about it, I thought, they make license plates at prisons. Is there any way the prisoners could do it? So, then it was explained, and it was like,
is all that possible? It's because it's fun.
Almost,
it's more fun to believe sometimes a conspiracy or that somebody's up to no good than, hey, you have individual, that one of two things are happening. Either A, it's just a misread. It's an M looks like an N. There's snow on the car. It's bad weather. The license plate is obscured in some way you don't see it. That's not an interesting story.
Yeah.
Or an individual who's trying to avoid paying tolls either alters their license plate or creates what we call a ghost plate. So that whether you go on Amazon or you take a plate and you make it
It's like TV, you put little tapes
look
on
like
the
something
letters.
else. So is it possible that somebody is selling license plate numbers? Is it possible that some prisoner somewhere? It's just highly unlikely.
Yeah,
it's just highly
Could see how it'd
unlikely.
be done.
Just highly, and honestly, I don't think it would be that profitable, because why would you go
I know.
purchase a license plate from a prisoner when you can go on Amazon
Yeah,
and do it,
really.
or you can just go out to your license plate that you have on your vehicle, cover up a couple of the numbers or letters, and drive through a toll, and they're not going to be able to send it to the right place anyway. So it's possible. And Jeff Prevail from WIVB News came down and interviewed me, and he was very, very interested. And this actually, I have to, even though he gave Chautauqua County a hard time, I have to commend him, because his reporting brought a lot of attention to the matter, right? So it started getting looked at by our state assembly, our state senators, the commissioner of the New York State Thruway Authority. His reporting made people go, "Holy cow, we got to take a look at this," because it's really causing problems. And he was bringing up all the different things.
So like the Thruway, you got all these states going through. Do they have the same problems? Fake licenses?
So New York State is particularly bad, and the reason New York State is particularly bad is because of New York City. So New York City is the most populous city in the world, and they have just an enormous amount of traffic that goes through there, so much so that they create congestion pricing. So to try to get more people to carpool, take the subway, whatever it is, they'll have congestion pricing where in those really heavily trafficked areas, it'll be $21.60 for a single toll. Or certain bridges, it's $13 for a single toll. So because of the number of people in New York City, and because of the very, very expensive tolls, there's more of an incentive to fake it. And so if you go to another place like Iowa, I don't want to pick on Iowa, but in Iowa, you don't have a New York City, right? You don't have congestion pricing in a major city where it's going to be $21 to go through a single toll. So they're not going to have nearly the volume of fraudsters that you're going to have in New York. So because we have the largest city, but maybe not in the world, but one of the largest cities in the world in our state, and it's, oh, by the way, congested and very expensive, it's kind of a unique problem to New York. Not unique that it doesn't happen elsewhere, but unique in that it's such a big issue.
You know, it's really weird to think, going over a bridge, you got to pay money. I know in Japan, it's outrageous.
Yeah.
I mean, they talk about Japan, but New York City sounds like it's
Oh, it's
just
and beyond just the fraudulent toll piece, right? So let's just take the tolls out of it. New York City, there are so many people that they don't even know who to bill, because it's in any given hour you'll have 100 or 200 vehicles where the plate doesn't come back to a person, so they don't even know they don't even have any place to send the toll.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They got to come up with a little better something.
Well, I think like anything else in life, there's a point of diminishing returns. So there's probably a toll that you can charge an amount where people are it's not worth it to try to get out of paying the toll. And simultaneously, instead of having a $13 toll that hundreds of people are not paying because they obscure their plates, hey, you have an $8 toll, let's say. And it all evens out because people are not trying to avoid paying the toll. I mean, that's one idea. I'm sure there's a lot of people in New York City smarter than me that can figure that out. But I think that's part of the problem, is you have to create a price where there's not such a big incentive to avoid paying.
It's just one of them things. But so, any other things about the county clerks? We still got like 15 minutes. You talk, man.
I'll tell you what's very interesting is a lot of people pay attention to politics or to their elected officials on the federal or state level. So they know what the governor does. They know what a president does. They know what a congressman does. Really, people should pay attention to their local politics, because that's what's going to have the most immediate effect on their life. Because they're the ones who make the tax levies and merge the schools or keep the schools separated, or the local politicians. So a lot of people can point to who their governor is. A lot of people can point to who their maybe their congressional representative is. I would be interested to know how many people in Chautauqua County actually know who their legislator is. Who is your county? Because we have 19 legislators in Chautauqua County. Who represents you in the county legislature?
Yeah.
PJ is a pretty well-known entity, so a lot of people can probably point to the county executive. But you have the county sheriff, the county executive, the county clerk, and then you have your 19 county legislators, and they're the ones who your property taxes and all of the other county services that are provided, they're the ones who vote on that, manage that, oversee that. So if people want to have the phone's ringing. Yeah. If people, really pay attention to what's going on locally, because that's going to have the most immediate effect on your life, more so even than who's the president or who's the governor. And I've really enjoyed this role, working with the public and learning about, and I knew quite a bit.
Got a phone call there.
Okay,
We'll
go ahead.
just sit back. Okay, hello, caller.
Oh, good morning. This is Linda Spalding.
Oh, hi, Linda.
Good morning, everyone. And Greg, it's so good to see you on the show, but I always associate you with the Veterans Administration instead of County Clerk.
Well, the good thing is, between the DD 214s and the Return the Favor program, and a new thing that we just when I say we started it, it was actually a statewide thing, but we just learned about it and started our program here, is the Veterans Peddler's Permit. So I'm still very closely associated with the veterans on the county clerk side, but yes, it is different to be here in a different role.
So what's the veterans?
Well, it's good to see you in the position and on the show. And you did so much with the veterans group, I know it. And it was so much fun working with you in the same office.
And it was very fun back when Office for the Aging and the Veteran Service Agency, we shared office space. I would see Linda all the time. And then she's a faithful caller to the show, because I don't know that I've ever been on the show where Linda doesn't call.
Well, Linda, right now you're pretty busy, aren't
She's
you?
like a regular.
Pretty busy getting ready for Chautauqua season?
It starts today.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, tomorrow's the 3 taps of the gavel. Tomorrow morning. Officially starts tomorrow, but you have to, you get inspected and other stuff, and move your car and show your gate pass starting today.
So, Chautauqua's, that's cool. They don't like me, but they have some pretty nice concerts. I've never been to anything besides concerts there.
Well, they have a wonderful symphony orchestra, and we have some very accomplished performers. I mean, the qualifications these musicians have in the Chautauqua Symphony, you just wouldn't believe it. I have a guest that comes here. He's been staying in one of my apartments for 14 years or something. He comes from Sweden.
Sweden?
Yeah.
Now,
And,
do they perform on the floating, or not the floating stage, the amphitheater?
Yes.
Okay.
He's originally from Jamestown, but he lives in Sweden, and he performs at the let's see, is it Copenhagen or Stockholm Symphony Orchestra?
Jeez.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So we've had, and Beth Robinson, who was here for many years, 24 years. She passed away last year, unfortunately. She performed in New York City on Broadway. She was in a movie.
A movie? Wow.
Yeah. They're amazing musicians that you don't see anywhere else that I know of, and it's only walking distance to get to them.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm here for the symphony. That's what I like.
Yeah, you got it pretty quick. How long does it take to walk to the amphitheater? Just a couple minutes?
For where I am, it's 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
5 minutes, uh-huh.
Is there a way to beat the crowds at the amphitheater? Every time I get there, there's a line 7 miles long.
Well, you go for the big performers.
Yeah.
The big, yeah. I usually don't go for this. If I do, I bring a chair and stand outside. I get claustrophobic in crowds like this.
I just like wondered because I took a handicapped person there, and I was like, how am I gonna have them stand in line? And
Yeah.
didn't go so well.
They're
But
supposed to make special concessions for the handicapped. Well, I know that for big performers, I know that you can't get in there until like 7 o'clock or something. I don't know.
well, the one thing
I've seen for some performers, I've seen people out there at 5 o'clock,
Oh, my
4:30.
gosh.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I wouldn't do that.
I know he's not really so popular anymore, but my favorite thing at Chautauqua was Bill Cosby. I never laughed so hard in my life with Bill. They had the Chautauqua Bell parked down by the tower, and they're having their horn fixed, so they had a train horn on it. They'd keep blowing it, and Bill would stop to catch it. What's that? And then all of a sudden he's getting allergies. It's that Chautauqua Bell. And I was like, oh, it had to be the funniest thing I ever saw in my life. But I've seen the Beach Boys a few times and a couple other concerts there. And it's just the only thing I don't like. I wish when they built the amphitheater they would put assigned seating instead of getting squeezed in, and then more people want to squeeze in. But otherwise, they put on some excellent shows.
They do. Well, in the olden days, there was no fence. There was nobody checking your ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. No fence, nothing. You showed your ticket at the gate, and that was it. You were free to go to everything. Nothing. Nobody checked for anything. No fence, nothing. People just came and gone. But then they decided it was under Dr. Bob Hess and Tom Smith. They decided to put a fence around it, and they weren't. Then they found that people were going in without a ticket, and then they saw people handing gate tickets over the fence, and so then that's where they got strict because of different things,
There's one thing. Who is the new president of Chautauqua? They have a
The new president now right now, we have Kyle Kehoe. He's the acting president. He's done a wonderful job. His parents and he have lived in Chautauqua for many, many years, and I knew both of his parents. Right now, we are having Johnson. I'm not sure. I think it's Jim Johnson. I don't think it's Joe. He's the son of Joe Johnson, who used to be the treasurer of the Chautauqua Institution, who before that, Joe Johnson was the treasurer of the city of Jamestown under Mayor Carlson.
That's quite a place, though. I mean, you drive by there and the parking lot's full all summer long.
Yeah.
I parked one day, and I think I was way out in the back there in the parking lot, and I think I saw a sign Panama Rocks, like 1 mile. That's how big that parking lot is. No, not really, but it felt that way.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for calling, Linda.
All right, have a wonderful
talk
day.
to you.
I don't want to interrupt this wonderful presentation. Have a great weekend.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you in a couple of weeks. We're not live next week, so.
Okay.
So, back to Greg here.
Yes. Yeah, I was talking a little bit about county government, but not just the county government, but your local, your town governments, your village, your city governments. I really encourage people who have any sort of interest, get involved or run for office. It really is an eye-opening experience, and one of the things, I've always followed politics somewhat closely. Mm-hmm. With that being said, you have an idea in your head that if I'm ever elected to be this position or that position. Now, county clerk's not a super, let's say, political position. It's more of a leadership role than I would say it is a political position. With that being said, you still have to, anything we do has to go through the legislature, right? They have to balance the needs of the constituents that they represent with providing services for the county. So a lot of times, I would go somewhere and I would say, well, if I were in charge, or if I were an elected official, I would just do this, and it would be so much easier. And what you've learned by doing this is that for every yin there is a yang, right? So for if you had let's say you were going to move a DMV location, right? I'm just going to use that as an example. You're going to move a DMV location, and it's going to benefit 80% of the people. Like, hey, 80% of the people are going to benefit from this. It's better parking. It's in an easier area, whatever. Well, there's 20% of the people that like that location where it's at right now. And this is, like I said, just a hypothetical, right? So what's going to happen is you're like, hey, I have this great idea. It's going to benefit the majority of the people. And those 20% who it doesn't benefit, you will hear from. And, you know, they'll come to whatever legislator meeting, or they'll call the op, which is fine. That's the way a democracy works. You answer to your constituents. But it's not as easy as you think in your mind of, oh, I'm just going to make this decision, and it's going to be great because, you know, you're representing in a democracy people who all have varying ideas, things that they want to do. So I have a much greater respect for, regardless of political affiliation, of the people who hold office. Not because they're all good or they're all great or all doing the right thing, but because it's not as easy as I once thought it was. It's rewarding. It's rewarding. But it's challenging.
What's that, Chris?
What was the new veteran program he was talking about?
Oh, the Veterans Peddler's Permit. Okay, so way back World War I era, that veterans were able to, basically it's a license to be able to sell things on county highways without having to get a business certificate or a business license. So if you're a qualifying veteran, you can get a peddler's permit. You can set up shop. You still have to adhere to like local laws and everything, but you could set up shop and sell your wares. So I didn't even know it existed, and I had a constituent call, and they had been trying to get this peddler's permit for years and years and years and years. So I'd never even heard of it. So I reached out to my county clerk's network, and I said, hey, has anybody heard of this peddler's permit, right? And half of the people were like, never heard of it, and the other half were like, oh yeah, we have it here. And they sent me the information on what's required. I researched state law, and we set up a program. A veteran could get a peddler's permit if they wanted. I issued permit number 0001 about a month ago. So, and the guy was grateful and very happy because this is something he had tried to do for a long time, and his son helped him out a lot too because he called. So it's a little known thing, but for the people who want that service, it is something that we provide in the county clerk's office. It's something that's written into state law. So the Veterans Peddler's Permit is a new thing that we have here in Chautauqua County. So it's great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's nice to help veterans after what they've done for us. It's like, so we only got about a minute, Greg. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Phone number to call you? And
well, the different thing about the county clerk's office is a lot bigger. So the Veteran Service Agency, I had all of the numbers memorized. I could tell you the Dunkirk number. I could tell you the Jamestown number. Well, now we have multiple DMV locations, multiple lines. But my number, my personal office number is 716-753-4975. And I welcome any constituent call. I'd be more than happy to talk to them if they have a concern, a complaint, a recommendation. And if I'm not there right then, I will call you back. So one of the things that I've tried to make a point of doing is when someone calls me, I will call them back. Yeah. Unless they're too grumpy. Sometimes people call and say some crazy things and don't leave a name or number. So I can't call them back. But
well, thanks a lot, Greg.
Thank you for having me.
I want to thank Justin on camera, Chris in the control room. Jeff will be back in a couple of weeks. We're not live next week. We're going to be filming a 4th of July parade. Weather permitting, so don't rain on our parade.
I will be there.
You're going to be in there?
I'm
all right.
Be in the parade.
You got to wave at the camera.
I will wave at the camera.
Okay, I'm Randy Burt, in for Doc Hamels, and we shall see you in 2 weeks, where I'll have Mary Ellen Humphrey as a guest.